Welcome to the Cocktail Spirit from Small Screen Network. I'm your host, Robert Hess. Champagne is a wonderful product. We all take and are familiar with it for celebrating and for having New Year's Day and Christmas and on those nice fancy dinners. Champagne being made is exactly the same process as wine. Essentially, champagne is a wine. However, what adds the bubbles to it is what they call a secondary fermentation. The fermentation happens by putting the wine in the bottle, adding a bit of sugar to it, and that then re-energizes the yeasts to allow it to take and start bubbling up again. It's capped very tightly. The wine bottles, won't pour this one upside down just so it doesn't blow up when I open it up. They'll then take and store the champagne bottles like this. And what happens here is all of the yeast and other residue will take and come down to the very top of the bottle. And they help this out by what they call riddling. And so once a day, they'll take and make sure they turn the bottle a little teeny bit, and that helps all the sediments come down and clearing out the champagne itself. Once it's sat and rested enough so that all of the sediment has come down from the secondary fermentation, they'll then take and freeze the top of the bottle very quickly. They'll open it up, pop like a beer bottle top that's on it right then. This will disgorge that chunk of frozen sediment. They'll quickly cap it back down again so they don't lose any of the bubbles. Then they'll put the foil cap and everything else on it, and then you have a bottle of champagne. This bottle will take and sit very well, quite reasonably for some time. When you open it up, you want to be careful that you don't point at someone to take their eye out with the top of it. Some bottles are easier to open than others, and sometimes mysteriously the bottles will just start spewing all over the place. Some people like shaking the bottle ahead of time to increase that spewing because they have fun spraying on people, but that wastes all that great champagne. There's a variety of different cocktails that are made with champagne. One that we've already seen is the champagne cocktail, where you use sugar and bitters in the drink. We're going to do today is a drink called the Kir Royale. There's actually two versions of this cocktail. One is just simply the Kir, where you just simply add white Bordeaux wine or Chardonnay to the glass, add some Creme de Cassis on top of that. For the Kir Royale, by making it more fancy, use champagne instead. It's very simple to make and quite common in Paris. When I'm ever dining in Paris, I always make sure I start the meal off with a Kir Royale. All you do is pour the champagne into the glass. Once you have the glass full of champagne, you then take your Creme de Cassis and drizzle just a little teeny bit of it into the glass. It gently colors the drink a nice lovely pink, adds a bit of a fruit flavor and sugar to it. We'll then take and do a lemon twist. It's interesting to note that the bubbles you see rising from the glass itself, what's causing the bubbles in the glass to come up is actually either imperfections in the glass or dust particles that have gathered on the glass. If the glass had been perfectly clean and perfectly smooth, at this point in time there'd be absolutely no bubbles whatsoever coming up because there wouldn't be anything at which the bubbles would have a place to start their manufacture. That means anytime you put anything into the glass, like whether it's orange juice or even this lemon peel, you're going to notice bubbles coming up immediately because bubbles are now forming on that. And there we have a Kir Royale.